No?
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's Diane and
I'm Bruce.
we are...
So Boutique.
We're so out of habit. This is absolutely awful. Let's try that one more time.
Okay.
I'm Diane.
I'm Bruce.
And
We're
are
So Boutique.
And us crazy people right now are coming to you today to share a fantastic, exciting thing, which is Bruce's birthday is on Sunday, and we're going to have a birthday celebration weekend special for all of you.
You can thank me later.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Happy birthday. And one of the things that I have always wanted to do, because I am sitting here on the camera all the time, and I think it's time for people to know more about Mr. Bruce, right?
If you say so.
Okay. So we thought we would take a few minutes and just kind of do this little impromptu interview. And some of the questions I did not share with Bruce, he's going to have to answer these spontaneously. So one of the things I think that we have a lot of fun with, and this is like non-work related, is just talking about memories when we grew up and things that we kind of lived through in our lives. And you grew up in a very different place than I did, of course. You're from New York.
Yep.
And I grew up in North Dakota. And so what is your absolutely most fantastic memory of a birthday when you were a kid?
Oh, when I was a kid?
Yeah.
That's easy. For my 4th birthday, my mother and father took my brother and I to this fabulous place called Jan's. And it's an ice cream parlor, but it was as big as a high school. I mean, it was, now everything seems bigger when you're a kid, but this was a huge place. And there's parties all around. It must have been like a Chuck E. Cheese before there was a Chuck E. Cheese.
Okay.
And your kids running around, and you could have like so many different kinds of ice cream and sundaes. And I remember they had this thing called the schnitzel. And it was this metal, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like this metal bowl that was decorated and embossing, and God knows how many scoops of ice cream they put in it with whipped cream and cherry. And so since it was my 4th birthday, I was asked, what would you like? And I pointed to that, and lo and behold, I got a schnitzel. And my mother, I remember getting it. I remember eating from it. But my mother told me that I had really big eyes, and I was really excited. And so, yeah, I guess that's my most fun childhood.
Is that why you absolutely love ice cream today?
I love ice cream.
You love ice cream.
I love ice cream. And I'm lactose intolerant. I love ice cream.
Cool. That's really, really a great memory.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you have any other
And my grandma and my grandpa, both grandpas and my grandma were there, and it was great. Yeah, it was great.
So do you know if that place still exists?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so
gone.
Fun. You think it's gone?
It's gone.
I know so many people that, exactly what they want to have for their birthday is always ice cream. So now I know where that all came from.
By the way, if any of you out there are from Brooklyn, can you please find out if Jan's, I think it was Nostrand Avenue, maybe, is still in business.
It's still in business?
And let us know, please. Thank you.
Do you have any other memories that just kind of like...
Birthday memories?
Yeah.
As a kid or adult?
Adult.
So, I have 2.
Okay.
For my 50th birthday, we were in New Hampshire for a show, and you were putting up like this fuss about going to this restaurant.
Is this Vermont?
No. It was in Manchester.
Manchester, New Hampshire. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And so we're driving to this restaurant, Normally, after a show, we're really low key about eating dinner. You know, Diane wanted to go to this restaurant, and okay, wasn't far away. And then it was, well, park over there. Well, I just wanted to park right in front of the restaurant. No, park over there.
This was a surprise birthday party.
And I'm just wondering what the fuss is all about. And so we park, and then we go into the restaurant, and you know, I'm still stunned. Lo and behold, let's see, who was first? My mother?
I think you saw Jory first.
Jory.
Your
my brother Jory, my older brother Jory, who lives in New Jersey. Was Karen there?
Yep.
My sister-in-law Karen, and then Jessica. Did Jessica?
Yeah.
Niece Jessica, my wonderful niece Jessica, came in, and I was about to pass out, and then all of a sudden, my mother shows up, and
this is when your mom was living in
California,
Florida.
She flew up from Florida to surprise me,
mm-hmm.
and I was really overcome with emotion, and I remember through my tears asking, "Is there anybody else?"
It was just shocking. I think we never did that very much. You know, you kind of knew what was happening all the time, and we just decided that we were going to have an absolutely fun surprise party, and
wow.
And everybody kept it a secret. And I have never been part of that before, where you were truly, the recipient was truly stunned. And I think the Maggotsons are good at that, by the way. They have surprise birthday parties and surprise events. So, no, that was absolutely fantastic. And that was during a quilt show. So, I think that was just completely unexpected. So that was really a fun birthday party.
But there was another one that was really exceptional in my memory. And I remember we were in Paducah, Kentucky for a major show, and it was my birthday.
Your birthday is always, as you can see right now, I suppose if Paducah hasn't already, I'm really horrible about not paying attention since we don't travel to quilt shows right now. And I think it's either happening this weekend or the next weekend. But it was always around Bruce's birthday. And so we're in Paducah, right? And I think I have a picture of this one, so we'll make sure that we can share this picture.
So, after a show, after working a show, it might have been my birthday, but all I really wanted to do was go into the hotel room, have some dinner, and relax or prepare for the next day or something. I was really low key. Even birthday didn't matter. And that year, it was my 60th birthday, and some of our dear quilting friends, including Marilyn Badger, who won an amazing
right. I think she won best
of show that
year. Yeah,
and she called us up, and Diane said, "Well, Bruce isn't really wanting to go out. They wanted to meet at this restaurant downtown Paducah, and I really wasn't up for it." And that's what she told Marilyn, and she said, "You tell Bruce to get down here."
She's pretty persistent.
And so Marilyn
and the group of people from
Minnesota,
from APQS,
and APQS people,
Mark and everybody from the group. It was so much fun,
and it was a wonderful birthday celebration. I think I was wearing a pointed hat and big
glasses,
faux glasses, and it was a blast. I had a great 60th birthday, and I was really uptight about turning 60. So that's why it was kind of memorable. And I remember, and I was just so moved that it was such a big day for Marilyn, and she was so kind enough to make room in her busy day to share my birthday with me, and so that was cool. Yeah, that was very cool.
No, you've had some pretty good birthdays, I think just fantastic birthdays.
Just having birthdays now is pretty cool.
Yeah. So now that we've talked a little bit about your birthdays and know that we're going to celebrate a great birthday, And this weekend, actually, we're going to New Jersey. So that is going to be a blast to spend some time with family. And Bruce often doesn't get a chance to spend time with his family. My family's here. So it'll be a really, really great weekend for us and time to really celebrate. So that'll
get
be
to see my 92-year-old mom.
Fantastic.
And my brother and his wife Karen and
Friends, really
friends,
dear friends.
and I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we don't often do, because I'm always trying to share, you know, projects and fabrics and different things, is, you know, we don't talk a lot about our business and from your perspective of things. And so we thought we'd take some time and just kind of share a little bit about us and a little bit about you and some of the thoughts
Sure.
that you have kind of about our business. And, you know, what do you think about owning your own business? What do you think about all of this? You know, we've had our business now for like 20 years. This is, I think, our 20th anniversary.
It's the joy of a lifetime to not only, I've always wanted to own our own business.
Yeah.
And it's the joy of a lifetime. And to do it with my wife and best friend is over the top. Even if you boss me around a lot. And I love owning our own business, you know. But you know,
what do you like the best about it?
I love that we make our own decisions. I love, from a professional point of view, being a small company is sometimes a blessing because you can be very nimble and you can make, you know, significant changes very quickly. And that's really a blessing.
So do you have any like dislikes? Like, what do you just kind of like, there's always a like and a dislike, I guess. So what would you say like you don't like about owning your own business? Is there one?
Well, there's nothing the biggest thing I'll say is that while being a small company allows you to be very nimble, it's really hard being a small company.
Yeah, it is.
Especially in the textile world, because, you know, you have to have the attention of weavers, you have to have, you know, yarn producers, dyers, and everybody's got their minimum order requirements, and you know, you have to have the attention of your trucker, your steamship company, your customs broker, and you know, you have to, you know, the people who have a few more zeros at the end of their tally sheet get a lot of attention. And you know, it's really hard as a small company to make sure people service you and price you as aggressively as they can, and that's and that's a stress, you know. But you know, I've been fortunate in that I've been doing this since 1982, and so I've met a lot of wonderful people, and who, you know, remember the longevity of the relationship and probably treat us better than we're entitled to.
Because we're so small. Yeah.
And so nice.
No, well, that's very true. You know, and that's the thing that I think a lot of people, you know, even though I do all of our Fabric Fridays and I do a lot of the photos and you see me a lot, behind the scenes, that is you. That is what you do is you are the designer, you are the manager of all of manufacturing and all of the shipping and all of those relationships. And it's really a lot to do. And you know, you came from an industry before we even started our own of textiles, and whether it be batiks, I think that was like maybe the newest thing that you ever did, but you know, printing and I always heard different stories. I mean, you know, through our relationship, being married longer than we've had our own business, of all the things you absolutely love to do in those businesses. And I think you have a couple of things that you absolutely love doing when it comes to the fabric production part of the world.
Right before we started So Batik. I'd spent a lot of years working for textile converters and one in particular in New York. And I used to have to go to print factories, mostly domestic print factories in New England, and I had to orchestrate the production of the print run. And I really loved doing that because you had tens of thousands of dollars worth of raw material out there. You had, almost the same amount of money invested in screens that are on the print machine. You have 4 or 5 people around there waiting for your decision on color matching, screen pressure. Does something have to be taped off? All these things. It's like being the conductor of an orchestra, and it's usually the middle of the night when you're doing this. I like working in the middle of the night because there are no interruptions because everybody's sleeping. So and I loved making prints. I really did. It was really a lot of fun and challenging, but a lot of fun.
And you like the people.
The people are great, even if they were Boston Red Sox fans, because it was New England.
I remember you talking about that. It's like you would send me these, you'd call and you'd say, well, we were up until I don't know what time, last night, and I'm eating all this candy from the candy machine and just trying to stay awake and do all these production runs and make any adjustments that you needed to make. But you absolutely loved it. I mean, I loved it. I remember that. You just absolutely loved it.
I absolutely loved it. And also in those days, I spent a lot of time traveling, to various destinations in Asia because, we were, weaving our own base cloths and converting our goods at printers there. And I enjoyed many, many years of travel and the relationships that I made and that I've tried hard to keep up, even though I no longer travel to Asia, and got to experience many things about the life of people who, although it is thought that their lives are very different from our own,
they're not.
They're not. People are concerned with the same thing. Their families, putting food on the table, and doing a good job. And so that was a wonderful, wonderful privilege for me.
Yeah. So how did you transition from print plants and printing, fabric into the art of, hand dyeing batiks, which is our world today? And I know why we chose it. But just learning the craft and the techniques and the quality issues. And to me, I think if I were to guess, I mean, the most important thing is that base cloth and the quality of base cloth, as well as the technique. So how did we get to batik? And I know all those years ago, why did we just decide on that? I mean, we decided we were going to start our own company.
It's like a Talking Heads song, how did we get here? But so I was in Indonesia at a print plant for about a week to 10 days, producing rayon crepe prints. And when you travel abroad, you really just want to work every day, get the job done, get back on the plane, come home. But in some countries, you can't work 7 days a week. There's a day of downtime.
Right.
And Sunday was that day at that print plant. And so I had all this time on my hands. And instead of sitting in the hotel room feeling sorry for myself, I got an invitation to go see a batik factory. And we get in this taxi, and it was about an hour and a half's drive to a rural setting. And I remember I had to close my eyes because the roads weren't so great. The driver was going at ridiculous speeds. And I just had to close my eyes, but I was certain that I was not going to need my ticket to come home,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that was it. But eventually we made it, and I was slowly introduced to the art of stamp making,
Mm-hmm.
hand dyeing, hand printing. I went to the factory owners museum
Mm-hmm.
that shared the history of batik making that goes back hundreds and hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I came back to Indonesia, which I was doing fairly frequently, I always made sure that I went to a batik factory. And eventually I, gleaned enough information to try and start producing it for my employer.
Right.
And it was a great success for my employer, and it was a wonderful thing for me to learn, because at that time I was a weaving and printing guy, and so to learn about this alternative or this totally novel way of decorating fabric was really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm to me, I'm really glad that was what we chose as our fabric specialty, was batiks, just because I don't know, there's something about the color and the randomness and the fact that every single yard is handmade and possibly a little defective here or a little defective there, but it's not perfect. It is just beautiful. And so to me, it's not a duck in the row, a duck. It is everything. I mean, the whole process of it.
If you're lucky, and I do mean lucky, the times that things deviate from what you're expecting, first you're kicking the dirt because you're not getting exactly what you want, but it's not a print. It's not done mechanically. This is all done by hand with all the variations that can happen.
Right.
And then if you really calm down for a moment and then look at it again, this is pretty nice.
Yeah.
And that, if you're lucky,
you can make defective fabric into something that's spectacular.
Non-conforming.
Not defective. That's the right way to say it.
The D word is not a good thing.
The D word is not the right word.
Good.
But not as expected, right? Okay.
Right.
Okay. No, I get exactly what you're saying. And I think that's really what makes this experience that we're having just so much fun.
Yeah.
Just so much fun.
And full of anxiety.
Okay.
Because you never know.
Yeah, no, I know. So I have one more question.
Yeah.
Which is, and then I think, I kind of like this conversation thing. I think we're going to continue doing these little fun interviews, and just to kind of share more about what, how batiks are made, maybe. And just that whole process, and just learning along the way, and kind of seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff. So
I'm happy to share.
So we're starting with your birthday. We're getting into knowing Bruce.
Okay.
And now we're going to get into a series. That'll be great. No. Okay. So one more question, which is, if you could, and I know this is not an easy question. This one we haven't even thought about, but if you could pick a favorite motif that you have created and that we've put into production, what would it be? It's a lot of fabrics.
I'm running through them in my mind's eye right now.
I don't know how you can run through them, but
But so I did have a favorite fabric for many years, but it was a sentimental favorite, and it was our vine motif in the color of twilight blue.
Oh.
And I liked it because we ran it for well over 10 years, maybe even more, and it was a favorite of our customers,
right.
And I became sentimentally attached to it, but
interesting. Vine twilight blue.
Vine twilight blue.
It's kind of a basic fabric.
Yeah, but it was our friend.
I know, and it was a rich looking blue. I mean, twilight blue we still have in our collection, but I think that whole on cotton really made the twilight blue gorgeous. I'm gonna have to, now that I know that answer, when I edit this, I'm gonna have to go back and add a picture of the twilight blue, and so that
Great.
you can.
We don't have any.
Well, I'll
Don't
find
get us in
something.
trouble.
I'll find something in our picture archive so people know
Okay.
what I'm talking about when it
Okay.
comes to Twilight Blue.
Okay.
Find Twilight Blue. Okay. And I did have another question that I was thinking of asking, but now I'm forgetting.
There'll be other times.
Okay. So what are we working on that's new? That's my question. What are we working on that's new? And because we've done a lot recently. I mean, we started with cotton, introduced rayon. We've got a whole bunch of rayon and linen and jersey
Canvas,
and canvas.
2 kinds of canvas.
So what's next? What are we working on? Because he doesn't always tell me what is going on behind the scenes.
Then I can... My timeline is my own if I don't tell you.
Right. So, okay.
But...
I might know the
here
answer.
it goes. Here it goes.
I might know the answer here.
I have always wanted to produce a Bemberg lining.
Oh.
And I'm working on a boutique Bemberg lining.
You know that you said that. Now we have to.
Thanks. You started this.
Bemberg lining.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other big development I'm working on is a boutique cotton lawn.
That's what I thought you were going to talk about, because this one I have sort of seen some hints of.
All the production, challenges have been met, so that's closer to being ready to roll than the Bemberg lining, but I'm dying for the Bemberg lining. I mean, for decades I've always wanted to make Bemberg lining, and it's so soft and silky and beautiful. And there was a time in the early 2000s or in the 90s where Bemberg was not just a lining, but it was a sportswear fabric, and it was so soft and supple. I mean, it's very silky. So I'm really, we make a lot of we make a lot of stuff for garment sewists, and I think it's time for us to have a lining that coordinates and that is really silky.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting. This is absolutely exciting. Then we'll have to get into more details of all of these processes and things that we do behind the scenes and stuff like that. But this has been great.
Thank you.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I really wanted to do something for Bruce's birthday, and I think we're going to have a really, really fun weekend in New Jersey, and we're leaving on Saturday. We'll be back. I think we are gone for a couple of days. We are going to be back on Wednesday, but it is just going to be so amazingly fun. So thank you. Thank you. Now you guys all want to hear more from Bruce, right? This is just so awesome. You know something? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thanks, you guys. And hopefully you make some comments below. Let us know what you think and shoot some questions our direction. Bruce loves to answer questions as well. And
watch out for the promotion.
Oh, yes.
It's coming soon, and
we will.
It will be well worth your while.
We'll have a fun. You're going to see all the social media stuff from us with all the happy birthdays and enjoy shopping. And thank you for all you do.
Absolutely.
For us at So Boutique as well. So,
okay.
And what do I always say?
Keep smiling.
Sewing.
Keep sewing.
Smiling and
sharing.
Yeah.
I'll get it right.
You'll get it right.